A continuación, doy la palabra al distinguido representante de la República de Corea, que ocupa actualmente la presidencia de la Comisión de Consolidación de la Paz. Tiene usted la palabra, embajador.
Mr. President, let me start by congratulating Ambassador Kamau, Permanent Representative of Kenya, for his strong leadership and commitment with which he successfully led the Peacebuilding Commission as its chair last year. He worked tirelessly to lay the grounds for a stronger PBC, while also testing and spearheading a number of innovations. I'm grateful to be able to count on his support, as well as that of Ambassador Gomez Camacho, Permanent Representative of Mexico, as vice chairs of the PBC this year. This annual debate of the General Assembly on peacebuilding and sustaining peace is of particular importance, since we will soon be celebrating the first anniversary of the adoption of the resolutions on the review of the peacebuilding architecture by both the General Assembly and the Security Council. I agree with what has just been said by my predecessor, that the PBC has made significant achievements since last April. Indeed, the PBC has continued to bring attention to the importance of peace building and sustaining peace. To mention just a few initiatives, in January, the chair of the Commission participated in a high-level event that you, Mr. President, organized entitled Building Sustainable Peace for All, Synergies between the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and Sustaining Peace. In March, the Commission met in response to a request from the Security Council to support the United Nations Office for West Africa and the Sahel, or UNOWAS, in advancing the implementation of the United Nations Integrated Strategy for the Sahel, or UNIS. And at the request of the Gambian government, the Commission convened a meeting just yesterday to discuss the peace-building priorities of the Gambia. Following my visit to the country last March in my capacity as PBC chair, which was joined by Assistant Secretary General Fernandez Taranco of PBSO and Ambassador Taranga of the Gambia. Mr. President, the resolutions on the review of the peace-building architecture, which recognize the unique role of the PBC in bringing steady international attention to peace-building and sustaining peace, have provided a timely opportunity to re-energize the Commission, improve its advisory role to the General Assembly, Security Council, and ECOSOC, and ultimately enhanced its support to countries that are striving to build and sustain peace. I intend to make the PBC more proactive in mainstreaming all peace-building and sustaining peace objectives and tasks throughout the work of the Commission and the United Nations system as a whole. Looking ahead, there are a number of priorities for the Commission during its 11th session, and let me elaborate them very briefly. First, partnership. Partnerships and cooperation with relevant stakeholders, both within and outside the UN system, are crucial. The Commission should seize all available opportunities to strengthen its collaboration, especially with international financial institutions, including the World Bank, and with regional and sub-regional organizations such as the African Union. We will continue to look at opportunities to engage with organizations from other regions, including Latin America and Asia. In addition, the Commission will also further enhance its collaboration with the civil society organizations and the private sector. The annual session of the PBC, scheduled to be held on the 22nd of June, will be an excellent opportunity to convene the broad range of actors and discuss practical ways we can work together. Within the United Nations, we need to further explore ways to improve the quality of advice we provide to the General Assembly, Security Council, and ECOSOC. In recent months, the Security Council asked the PBC to advise on a number of regional and country-specific issues including the Sahel, Central African Republic, Liberia, and Guinea-Bissau. I believe these are good opportunities for the Commission to prove that it can provide solid and comprehensive advice upon request from the principal bodies of the United Nations. Second, predictable financing. Financing represents a key element of peace building, and we must ensure its predictability moving forward. This is why the Commission will focus its annual session in June on this important topic and discuss ways to ensure more predictable financing through stronger partnerships with other stakeholders, including international financial institutions and the private sector. In this regard, the importance of the Peace Building Fund cannot be overemphasized. Synergies between the Commission and the PBF are improving, and a number of countries that receive funds from the PBF have expressed interest to access the PBC as a platform to engage with the broader international community. As preparations for the Secretary General's report on peace building and sustaining peace are underway, the PBC will be ready to provide a platform where the Secretariat can engage member states and exchange views on a broad set of issues related to peace building and sustaining peace, including options on financing. Third, gender. The Commission will continue to build on the achievements of the past year to promote the gender dimension of peace building with a focus on the need to increase the participation of women in peace building and sustaining peace. To this end, the Commission in 2016 adopted the gender strategy, which is now being implemented into the work of the PBC, and has recently appointed focal points on gender, as well as on youth, financing, institution building, and national ownership to ensure that the PBC takes these themes into account throughout its activities. Fourth, and finally, transparency and efficiency. The Commission will continue to work towards more flexible working methods so that it can respond in a rapid and effective manner to an increasing number of requests for advice and support. Mr. President, in closing, we look forward to a fruitful and productive discussions at today's annual debate of the General Assembly, which provides an important opportunity for the wider UN membership to reflect on an increasingly significant aspect of the renewed efforts of the United Nations to build and sustain peace across the globe. I thank you, Mr. President.
Doy las gracias al distinguido representante de la República de Corea.